Welcome to month 2 of Rise. If you are new, welcome. This series is dedicated to survivors of sexual trauma and narcissistic abuse. Month 2, our theme is remembering who we are without performing. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's get to the vlog. Welcome to week 5 of Rise as we go over attachment. Now, before we get to our practices, I'm going to break down the 4 different types of attachment styles. The first type of attachment is going to be secure. Secure people have learned that you are going to be safe in relationships. People are going to keep their promises. They will be honest with you. They will share. You can lean on other people and you're going to be okay. Then there's the rest, where we learn that the opposite is true, where we're not safe in relationships, where we actually have to fight for our safety. And this is broken down into 3 different types of attachment. The first one being avoidant, where we actually learn to distance ourselves, pull back, and learn to do everything alone. That's avoidant. The second type is anxious attachment. This is where you've learned that there's something deeply wrong with you that's unlovable, that you're not good enough, and that you seek external validation and safety in order to feel loved. The third one is a combination of both, called disorganized attachment. This is due to excessive trauma, where the person is adaptable to both depending on what the situation is. They can lean more towards being anxious or they can lean more towards being avoidant. That is disorganized attachment. Now, the good news is you can learn to become secure. That's the good news. As we take a deep dive this week and learn more about our attachment, it's super duper important that you have compassion on yourself, have compassion on your own experiences that has led you to your attachment today, and know that you can change it. We are about to map out our relationship patterns. First things first, list out all of your romantic relationships. Include anyone who has had an emotional impact on you. Think short-term and long-term. Once you've got all of those names listed out, answer only these 3 questions. How did it begin? Was it a slow burn? Was it emotionally intense? Were you pursued or did you pursue them? Second, how did you feel most of the time in it? Were you anxious, uncertain? Did you feel chosen and calm? Did you feel safe? Or did you feel confused? And lastly, how did it end? Think emotionally, not just logically. Was it a sudden withdrawal? Was it betrayal? Was it a mutual fading? Or was it unresolved? Once you have all of that answered, look for repetition. Only circle what shows up more than once. Was it similar beginnings, similar endings, or a similar emotional state? Next, we are identifying our reoccurring partner types. Keep this part very simple and just checkbox which partner you've noticed come up in your history more than once. Our first one is the emotionally unavailable one. This is the person that you feel like you're always reaching for. They struggle with vulnerability. They avoid hard conversations and pull away when things feel deep. The second one is our hot and cold, inconsistent one. This person has an intense rush at first, but then it's followed by distance. They keep you guessing. There's a strong chemistry, but weak stability. Then we have our potential project. This is the person that you can see, if we just fix this or that, we can make it work. So you're always trying to see where you can be the helper or the fixer for them. You see who they could be and you invest more in the relationship than they do. Now we have the wounded one. This person brings in all of their trauma into the relationship. You become the emotional caretaker. Their needs go center stage and yours feel irrelevant and unimportant. Last but not least, we have the charismatic but unsafe one. This one has a strong pull and chemistry at first. They feel exciting or magnetic. Your nervous system is activated but not calm. And the highs are highs and the lows are lows. Now pause here and ask yourself these two questions. Which partner type repeated most clearly for me? List 1 to 3. And then, which partner type did you spend the most emotional energy on? And that is all the work for this practice. I'm proud of you. Keep going. And last but not least, we have exploring your attachment style. I wanted to give you a quick grounding reminder before we dive into this subject that your attachment style was learned. It was an adaptation on how to stay connected. They are not flaws. So have compassion on yourself as you navigate what your attachment style is. And always remember that awareness is the first step towards change. Like, was that really necessary? Anyways, always remember the good news that you can learn to have a more secure attachment style if you don't have one already. Now it's time to explore your attachment. Notice what feels familiar, not what you think is supposed to be right. The first one is anxious attachment tendencies. This person wants closeness and reassurance. They have a heightened sensitivity to a change in tone, availability, texting. They have a fear of being replaced, forgotten, or being too much. Next, we have avoidant attachment tendencies. These people have discomfort with emotional dependence, whether it's yours or theirs. They pull back when expectations increase. They value independence over vulnerability, and they feel overwhelmed by other people's needs. Then we have disorganized tendencies. This person craves closeness, but they also fear it at the same time. They have an attraction to emotionally unavailable people. They have cycles of pursuit, withdrawal, and then longing. And they have confusion about what they actually want. Last but not least, we have our secure attachment tendencies. They trust that this other person is willing to work with us. This person is comfortable with intimacy and space. They have ability to communicate their needs without panic or shut down. They trust in consistency over intensity. They have a calm nervous system when conflict arises. For each of these attachment tendencies, check off one of these boxes that resonates deeply with you. The first one being that it feels familiar, sometimes, or rarely. Now, time for a pattern reflection. Ask yourself which style shows up most often in your history. Which style shows up when you're under stress or uncertain? And then which style feels the least familiar but the most peaceful? And remind yourself that you are already beginning the changing work just by having this awareness and taking this time to learn about your attachment. So that's a huge step in and of itself. Most people never get to this point. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back because you deserve that. And know that if you don't have a secure attachment style, that's okay. The good news is you can learn to have a secure attachment. So keep on going. You just took the first step. And also, if you have a therapist, you're already practicing secure attachment communication by having a therapist who responds with compassion, without judgment, and can really put the situation in front of you versus putting it between you and the other person. You're experiencing what secure communication is.
And to top the week off, we have journal prompts. What needs was I trying to meet in old relationships? What does my inner child keep searching for? And how can I meet those needs myself? I am so proud of you for doing the inner work and showing up for yourself this week. You did it. Before you go, I wanted to share with you a quick breakthrough that I experienced this week. I actually had a dream that there was a man who was not good and he was going to try to take advantage of me. But in my dream, I shouted the word, to let everybody know, danger. And I ran to my dad. My dad was in my dream and he was able to be there with me, and I ended up being protected. And when I woke up from that dream, I was like, wow, like that is to me a truly deep spiritual, almost spiritual breakthrough, because I was able to vocalize it. I was able to stand up for myself and be protected, and no harm was done to me. So that was really a special breakthrough that I experienced as I was doing this deep, focused, intense inner work on this. And so I hope you do get to experience a unique breakthrough for you, whatever that looks like, whether it's in the form of a dream or just in a feeling of relief or something. I'm proud of you for showing up for yourself this week on top of all the other work that you've got. And I just want to let you know right now, sometimes it might feel like you're not doing enough when you're doing this healing work, but I promise you, you already are. Just by watching this video, learning, having that awareness, you're doing enough. And so I need you to remind yourself of that, because it's very easy to get towards the end of the week, just like tonight right now. That's why I look exhausted, and think, am I doing enough? And so trust me, girl, you are, and I'm proud of you, and you should be too.